Hi, I'm Judy Fleming, and we're going to be doing some recipes today from Judy's Kitchen. This is a brand new series of videos that we're going to be doing with me working in the kitchen. So I thought I would start with this funny little gadget we've got here. It's called a Spirooli, or a spiral vegetable cutter. And I'm going to show you two recipes, well, three recipes actually, using this particular item. First of all, you must make sure that you've got the blade in that you want, and you can press on the little spot here to get this out. And we've got a blade that has very, very sharp edges, and it's going to make sort of like a spaghetti type spiral vegetable that's going to be the size of spaghetti or fettuccine. And then we've got one that's a little bit bigger than that. Let me see if I can get it out. And that one's going to make something like a linguine noodle. And we're going to do some apples with that later. And then we've got one that makes a flat ribbon type. And I will show you that, but it's not one that we use all that often, but you can still make some interesting things with it. So they have a spot to store them. Remember, they're really sharp, so you have to be careful not to cut yourself. Now we've got two flat edges that we need. So we're going to start with this sweet potato, and I'm just going to cut the ends off so that I've got flat edges that will work with this Spirooli. And we're going to, there's a little knob here that's very sharp, and we're going to push that onto that spot, and then we're going to bring this over. We're going to push down on all four corners to make sure it's snug on your countertop or table. You need a flat, smooth surface for this to work. And then you're going to be pulling towards this side of towards my left, or your left as you're working, and turning this at the same time. Now we've got to make sure that we've got a bowl to catch everything. So we'll just take our bowl and we'll continue. So as you can see, we're getting long, very long pieces of spiral, thinly cut, that twists and turns. And you can, if you want, slice into the food, not too far in, so that it won't be one long piece, but shorter pieces. So we'll just do that so you can see the difference. Okay, so now our pieces are a little bit shorter. They're not really, really long. And you can have fun with your family and friends and leave them long, or you can cut them up with your kitchen knife, kitchen scissors. And then you pull out this piece that went through to do the cutting, and we'll use that in our juicing along with the ends at another time. So here we've got our spiral yams, or sweet potatoes. And again, we're being very careful not to cut ourselves. And we're going to add some things to this to make a really interesting salad, okay? So we're going to add some corn. And of course, you can use your imagination and add anything you want. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. We're going to add some celery. It's already chopped up. We're going to add a little bit of coconut. Always nice to unsweeten coconut in a different location than what you would normally think of. And we've got some sesame seeds. And you can add anything else, as I said before. The recipes are coming from one of my books, Salads and Dressings Made Easy, so that you can get some ideas. There's 5 different recipes using the spiral vegetable cutter in this particular book. And now we want to make a salad dressing to use with this. And to get your spiral vegetable cutter off of the table or your counter, you just pull on the little knobs on each one of these, and it releases so that you can move it out of your way. And now we're going to take an orange. And I want this to be a little bit sweeter a salad than normal. So we're going to use an orange, and I'm going to use my Citrus Star juicer to and it's a big orange, so I'm going to leave the large part on to juice my orange. When we're making our salad dressing, we should use some kind of a citric fruit like lemons or limes or apple cider vinegar, and we're going to use oranges today to have a little bit sweeter. And I made sure that my spout was up at the beginning, and now I'm going to use, I'll have to pull this over, so I just pull my spout down and all my wonderful orange juice comes out. And I didn't have to use any pressure to get the juice out. Just tilt it over and get the rest of the juice. And then you can just snap the spout back up and it won't drip down anymore. And that's the Citrus Star juicer. It makes a really nice, you can just have this as a glass of juice for that matter. So we've got some juice here, the orange juice, and we're going to add some nice cinnamon and nutmeg. About a half a teaspoon of each. And we're going to add some coconut oil as our fat. Well, we've got quite a bit of juice here, so we're going to add about the same amount of coconut oil as we have juice. And then we're going to get a really nice dressing. It's going to have a really nice sweet taste to it. And we're going to use our blending blade. Just give me a second, I'll turn around here and zap this into a nice dressing. Pour some of that dressing and juice over top of this salad. It's a very thick, creamy dressing. And we're going to toss it. And as I said, you might want to take your scissors, your kitchen scissors. Just get mine out of my drawer here. Make sure they're nice and clean, and we can chop up the really long pieces so it's a little bit easier to toss and will be easier to eat as well. We have these lovely spiral celery and corn, and use your imagination. You can add any other vegetable that you want to that will go with that. And we have our first salad all ready. So we'll just zoom in on that salad. Okay, so we're all set up and ready now for the next recipe, which is going to be our zucchini spaghetti recipe. And it's a raw zucchini spaghetti salad. And this time we're going to use the wider or the bigger cutter, which looks more like a linguine noodle. And again, we have to have two flat edges. So we'll put these aside for our juice. And we're going to put our zucchini in on the sharp end and bring the arm onto it, and we're going to push. We're pulling towards the, as we turn. Oh, wait a second. We want to catch everything in our bowl. Again, We can leave it so it's nice thick noodles, or we can cut into it a little bit so we have thinner noodles, or shorter noodles, I mean. Again, we've got extra pieces for our juice afterwards. And we've got our shorter and longer pieces. I think I'm going to cut them with my kitchen scissors again to make them easier for people to use rather than having this long, really long piece. Although the kids really like having it when it's longer. Makes it more fun for them. You can just cut it into shorter pieces. Okay, so we've got our spiral vegetable zucchini, and you can do it in the thinner ones or the thick ones like I've done today. And then we want to make like a marinara sauce to put in the center, and we're going to use our little mini blender to do that. We've been soaking some sun-dried tomatoes, and we're going to take the water and the sun-dried tomatoes and put them all into our little food processor. And then we're going to take some fresh tomatoes and put them in as well. And the greens from the celery, we're going to put those in. And a little bit of the onion. Some of it we're going to keep to sprinkle on top afterwards. We're going to put some basil in, some fresh basil. If you're using dried basil, you need to use more because all of this fresh basil will dry to be much, much smaller pieces. And we're going to put the lid on. Pulse it just to get it chopped up the consistency that you want. And then we're going to add in some little bit of maple syrup. We're going to add in some nutritional yeast. We're going to add some garlic, all of our seasoning now, our garlic, our oregano, any of the spices that you want. I've got some thyme, sea salt. I'm putting about a teaspoon of each, and just a pinch of cayenne pepper. Or if you like something hot and spicy, more, of course. And a little tiny bit of apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to pulse it again. A little tiny bit more than that. Okay. And then we're going to take that and scoop it out. Into the center of your and then when you go to eat it, you'll toss it. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of red pepper on the top. And some more onion. If you have anything else you want to sprinkle on, you could do that. Some chopped up mushrooms, whatever else that you would like to add to this. And there we have a wonderful zucchini spaghetti. Hi there. Well, we've made our 2 salads for our main course, and now I want to make something that's a dessert. So I thought we would use some brightly colored red and green apples, And we'll just demo the flat blade so you can see what that looks like. So we slide that in here. And we take our apple and we're going to put the core. Oh, I might have to slice. Might be others. Just get a flat edge. And you put this right over top of the core because this is going to actually core the apple as well. Pull this over. Make sure we got it pressed down on all four corners so it doesn't move. Pull towards my left, your left. And these make great apple chips, which we will put into our dehydrator. Really zesty apples here. Okay, so as you can see, we have a nice thin flat apple piece, and we put these in our dehydrator. Excellent. But you can dehydrate them and have some nice dried apples and have some apple chips, which we will do in the next video next month when we demo dehydrating. So we'll just put those aside for now. Take our apple piece out, and as I said, it cored it for me. And we're going to take out this flat blade. Again, be very careful, the blade's very, very sharp. And we're going to put in the small blade. We'll see what the apples look like with that. We're going to get our flat surface here. Over top of the core itself. Make sure our corners are on tight. And now we're going to move some of the apples over. And now we have some really finely cut up red apples. And we'll do the same thing with our green apple. Bring it over the core. Just give me a second. Whoops. Okay, check all four corners. Okay, the first apple I used was a Gala apple, which is a nice crisp apple. And this is a Granny Smith, which is not quite as crisp, and as you can see, it's not working quite the same. I think we've got enough apple for this one anyway, so we'll just pull this out, being very careful not to touch the blade. And we're going to take this, get it off our counter or table, pulling the little tabs. Just move this to the side. And this is going to be our dessert that we will put in the dehydrator, and you'll see what it looks like the next time when we finish up our video next month. We're going to take our apples, put them into our larger bowl. And with our scissors we can cut them up a little bit so that they're not long strings. It's a little bit easier to handle. Toss them up a bit, and then we're going to add, we've got some sunflower seeds that have been soaking for a while, so we're going to strain them. Take the sunflower seeds that have been softened up by soaking them and add them. And we've got some organic oatmeal, and we've got some wonderful raisins. And we're going to add our cinnamon and nutmeg, which are great with apples. Okay, then we're just going to take a couple of spoons and toss it all. And this is going to be an apple crisp that it's going to have a really wonderful taste with the apples and the raisins. We're going to put this in the dehydrator. So that it'll be warm, but it'll still be a living food. I'm just going to put it in my little pie plate so I can stick it in my dehydrator for about an hour at 105 degrees, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever you want, to warm it up to the consistency so it's going to be a warm winter dessert with the raisins and the apples, a little bit of oatmeal, and the sunflower seeds for some crunch. Let's just see what that looks like as a wonderful dessert.